So anyone that actively watches anime should probably know the genre yaoi. Anyone that doesn't know what yaoi is also goes by the name of shonen ai, which translates to boys love, which pretty self-explanatory if you're asking me. Yeah, it kind of started blowing up a few years ago with the release of animes like Yuri on Ice and Banana Fish. Like, it's gotten so big to the point where, like, I would say half of people that watch yaoi don't actually watch anime. Like, a lot of them are from what I've seen, a lot of them are from like different communities. And this has been random times where I found people that has never watched anime in their life like talk about yaoi anime. For example, I was on Snapchat just looking at like some of my friends' stories, and this girl, we don't really like, we're not really friends, but we have like talked in the past. Like, if we have the same class, we'll talk about that shit. She posted a story of her watching Banana Fish. And I was like so fucking surprised. But that's not what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Today we're going to be talking about yaoi's counterpart that isn't really well known, and it goes by the name of Yuri. Yuri, which also goes by shoujo ai, which means girls love. Again, pretty self-explanatory. And unlike yaoi, I've never seen a big group of people talk about this genre. Even with the release of the anime we'll talk about in today's video, like there was like some people talking about it, discussing it, but like that was kind of it. Yeah, so around half a year ago, I kind of got interested in this topic, and I did some research on it because legit I've never heard anything about it in the past. So some of the bigger Yuri animes I found are Citrus, Yuri, Blue Manchu, which from what I've heard is probably the best Yuri that's out right now. I'm looking at the list right now, and apparently Happy Sugar Life counts as a shoujo ai. I mean, I guess Netsuzo Trap, which I also have on my plan to watch list. You know, it seems pretty bad. Yeah, I'm kind of a big fan of bad anime. That's really the only reason I even read Citrus. So yeah, even though I did want to check out Yuri, like watch some animes like Blue Manchu, Yuri, I just never really ended up doing it until I think it was fall season of 2020 came around, and there was a specific anime that caught my attention. You know, looking back at it, fall season was pretty good. We had Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan final season, Damachi, Tonikaku Kawaii, and like, a lot more anime. But surprisingly, none of those ended up being my favorite anime. My favorite was actually Adachi the Shimamura out of everything from fall season. To make it clear, I haven't really started Attack on Titan yet, so if I did watch the final season of that, that probably would have been my favorite. I also didn't finish Jujutsu Kaisen, and yeah, that probably would have rivaled Adachi and Shimamura, but you know, I love everything I finished. This is my favorite. Sorry for the long intro, but that's going to be the main topic of this video. I'm just going to talk about the anime Adachi and Shimamura, and why I personally enjoyed it a lot, and why I think it's actually like a good gateway Yuri anime. I didn't plan anything for this video, so it might be a little bit messy, but I don't plan anything. I just do whatever the fuck I want. So the anime's name is Adachi to Shimamura, which translates to Adachi and Shimamura. Again, pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, so those two are the main characters. Adachi was voiced by Akari Kito, and Shimamura was voiced by Ito Miku. Yeah, Akari Kito, I actually didn't even know she voiced like this many good characters. She voiced Suzune from what's it called? What's the name of this anime? Classroom of the Elite. How did I forget that? She also voiced Sugasa from Kamisama. Wait, no, again. Sugasa from Tonikaku Kawaii. You know, pretty good manga. I didn't really like the anime, but I did like the manga a lot. Also a top tier waifu. And also Kaho Hinata from Blend S. You know, everyone loves Blend S. I actually think people only know Blend S for like the opening. Did anyone actually watch the anime? I actually did watch it and I enjoyed it a lot. So, and Shimamura was voiced by Ito Miku, who voiced Miku Nakano from Gotoba no Hanayame. Just wanted to make that clear because I actually did like both of these voice. Like, I personally do like both of these voice actors a lot. A lot of the roles they've done in the past, I've enjoyed it, and you know, they did a pretty good job in this anime too. Now let's quickly summarize the story, and there isn't really too much to summarize. This is kind of a slice of life, just romance, comedy manga, so yeah, there isn't really too much in the plot, I would say. I mean, nothing too really important to summarize. So like I said before, Adachi and Shimamura, those two are the main characters, and they became friends from both skipping class. So in the school's gym, they have like a second floor, and there's like a ping pong table over there, so that's where they would stay a lot. Yeah, so they would just play ping pong with each other, and they started having conversations, they started talking, and they became closer and closer with each other. And this is where Adachi realized that she likes Shimamura more than a friend, you know? Oh, amazing anime plot twist. Shimamura became really important to her to the point where like she would kind of get jealous when she saw her with any other girls. And that's basically the whole story right there. Yeah, even though the synopsis of the story is like really simple, it might be considered generic too. It still was a really good anime. It's still really enjoyable, still really wholesome. Yeah, I probably should have said this too. Even though these two girls are skipping classes, they're not like bad people, we're just students. They're both like just really good people. They just ended up skipping class somehow, and as the relationship grew, they actually both ended up going to class together, which, you know, It's pretty good. Oh yeah, earlier in the video I did say that this is a good gateway Yuri. What I mean by that is like, it really isn't too intense. Like there isn't really too much Yuri factors in it. What I mean by that is that it's just simply two girls liking each other. There's nothing more than that. Like, you know, because I feel like some Yuris can get too intense to the point where it makes people uncomfortable. Probably, like, some people probably think that about Yaoi too. Now, there's nothing too intense in this one. There's actually, I mean, it was more cute than intense. Nothing like sexual really happened, you know, they just had a lot of cute scenes. Even though this is a Yuri anime, I would still say these two girls are like pretty good waifus. I mean, if they're into those type of things. Yeah, another part that made this story really interesting to me is that Adachi and Shimamura, their personality is kind of the opposite. Because Adachi kind of seems like the really cold type, but she's actually just more shy than everything else. And Shimamura is like the, how do you describe her? She seems like she's really outgoing. She seems like, you know, the popular girl, but she doesn't really have too many friends. Oh, one thing I do want to talk about is I did check out the manga before I watched the anime, like before it released, and for some reason there was two different ones. One is how the anime went, and the other one was like kind of similar. And most of it was similar, but for some reason, if that one was like more drama heavy and actually kind of depressing. Because like I said, in the anime, Adachi is like the she's more shy than cold, but in that manga, Adachi was like actually kind of cold and like kind of depressed, all that shit. But you know, they did choose the more like happy one, and I would say for this anime, I do prefer that. Yeah, even though I do like the characters a lot, I did think the story was really enjoyable and really cute, really wholesome. I would say my favorite factor from it is the animation and the music. Okay, I'm about to make a comparison, and like to me, the animation, it's kind of the same situation as Hyoko. Now, to make it clear, even though Tezuka Production did a great job of animating this anime, there's no way it's gonna be Hyoko and like most of the films from Kyoto Animation. What I meant with that comparison is that it kind of seems like they just like to flex the animation every once in a while. They're like, hey, you know, let's just put like a really good looking scene for no reason at all. And as someone that's watching anime, I'm not gonna complain about that. I actually liked it a lot. Yeah, there was just a lot of random like colorful scenes that I personally really did like, and they do make sense, but like they're still kind of unnecessary. And there's a lot of things in anime that's unnecessary, but you know, it was good though. And with the music, I did like the music in this anime a lot. Not specifically the opening and the ending. I don't think I actually did listen to the ending, but from what I thought from the opening, it's pretty decent. I'm just a really big fan of like the background music, the soundtracks. Yeah, I've been using one of the songs from this anime as my background music in a lot of my videos. It might be the one I'm using right now actually. To me, it's like really easy to make a soundtrack sound good, but to make one that's like noticeable is really hard. From what I said before, like me using a soundtrack from this anime as my background music in my videos, it probably does show that it was really noticeable to me. And there are some other ones I haven't used yet that like it doesn't really fit my video style, but hey, hopefully I can use them in the future. I just realized that I didn't even have too much to talk about in this video. I really don't have too much to talk about with this anime, but I just felt the need to make this video because it does seem like it's pretty, even though it did come up recently, it still is kind of unknown. Like looking at it right now, only 37,000 people finished this anime. Now let's check some of the top animes from the same season. Kaisen had 440,000. About Haikyuu had 208,000. Nikako Kawaii, which is probably the second new biggest anime that came out that season, had 184,000. Even Kame-sama Inatahi had 68,000 people that finished it. Like even though the second half of Kame-sama Inatahi was terrible, it still had twice the amount of people that finished it compared to Adachi and Shimamura. You know, just think about that. Another thing I did like a lot about this anime is how, what is it? Like I said this a lot, but how wholesome it was. Like Citrus, from what I've read, it kind of does seem like it's more on the intense side. Bloom Into You, it kind of seems more like the sad and like maybe drama heavy type. But with Adachi and Shimamura, it's just like purely wholesome. Actually, as the audience, we know it is purely wholesome, but from Adachi's perspective, some things that she saw, she might have like thought some different things. Personally, I just thought it was really cute for Adachi to like ask Shimamura to hold her hand, all of those things, like lay on her lap, you know. I wouldn't do that shit. As an Amelia fan, I personally do appreciate any lap scenes that's in anime. So thank you for having so much. Yeah, and as Adachi and Shimamura grow closer and closer, Adachi starts liking Shimamura more and more. And at the end, like close to the end of the anime, they actually kind of grew apart. But that helped them realize that they both need each other a lot in their lives. And you know, they ended up being best friends again, and we don't know what's gonna happen after this. Even though they're all best friends right now, even though they most likely gonna end up dating, they kind of do give me like a younger and older sibling type of vibe. You know, like I'd actually asking Shimamura if she can hold her hand. Like that's something a younger sibling would do. It was pretty cute though. I feel like I forgot to talk about something. If I did forget, I'm probably gonna add something in this part. But that should be it for now. Yeah, so Adachi and Shimamura, definitely a good anime, definitely a great watch. I personally gave it a 7 out of 10. It's more like a 7.5, which is like really, really good to me. If you want to get into the genre Yuri, this is a pretty good gateway anime. And it's just a pretty good and enjoyable anime overall. Like, you don't even have to be into Yuri to watch this shit. If you just want to watch like a wholesome slice of life romance manga, then this is a great choice. But if you do want to check out Yuri, I would highly recommend this anime. You know, this is my first Yuri, and I wasn't disappointed, and I was actually pretty impressed. Yeah, and if any Yuri fans came across this video and you want to like recommend some Yuri anime to me, I would actually appreciate that a lot. Like, you know, I really haven't talked to anyone that's really into this genre before, so if you just recommend me some anime, I'd appreciate that. Yeah, that should be it for this video, you know? If you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more, I mean, probably not gonna make like too much more content about Yuri, but if you like these types of videos, you know, you can subscribe to me, you can leave like a like, you know, that would help a lot. I feel like I didn't talk about anything, but the recording is 33 minutes long. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I've been making videos for a while now, but I still don't know how to do outros. So like, and so outro, I guess.